the style that the member chooses. Timer, please note that the time is 5 to 7 minutes for the speech. Toastmaster Aryan, the map maker. The map maker, Toastmaster Aryan.
There are so many words out there whose true feeling, whose true essence, whose true meaning can't be expressed in a few words as defined by the Oxford English Dictionary. And if you ask me, personally, I feel leadership is one of those words. To put it into layman terms, leadership is like a map. Some of us are compasses, always pointing in one direction, while others are GPS systems, recalculating and recalculating at every single turn possible. But me, I thought I was a tour guide until a school science project taught me otherwise. It was eighth grade, and a biology teacher announced a group project building a working model of the human heart. She pointed at me and said, "You're gonna be the team leader." I beamed with pride, ready to channel my inner Steve Jobs. Leadership seemed simple: delegate, supervise, and voila, greatness would follow. Or so I thought. On the first day, I gathered my team like a huddle for a general meeting, planning for a battle. You, I said, Aditi, find the materials. And you, Samir, research the mechanics. I was handing out tasks faster than a teacher handed out assignments. But things deteriorated rather quickly. Aditi brought rubber tubing instead of the plastic ones we needed. And Samir, for the love of God, spent countless hours on YouTube watching videos on jet engines instead of heart pumps. Frustrated, I yelled, "Do you guys even care about the project?" And the answer was silence. My teammates avoided my gaze, muttering some random excuses. The project was due in 2 days and we were nowhere. That particular night, I sat staring at the half built prototype, wondering, why isn't this working? I'm doing everything a leader is supposed to do. My hunch told me the problem wasn't with the team, it was with me. The next day, I decided to change my tactics. "Guys," I said, what do you think we should do?" Aditi hesitated, but eventually spoke up. "I think the rubber tube could work if we adjusted the structure a bit." And Samir was quick to add on, "What if we used a balloon for the pumping motion?" For a change, I thought, the ideas were brilliant. When I stopped barking orders and started listening, the project transformed on its very own. We stayed up all night, cutting, gluing, and laughing. And by morning, we had a working model. And at the school science fair, our heart pumped so perfectly, we ended up winning the second place. That day, eighth grader Aryan realized that leadership isn't just about giving out orders, it's about listening. Sometimes being a leader means stepping back so others can step up. Fast forward to college. Fast forward to college, and I found myself in a completely different scenario: a 24-hour hackathon. A team of four had an ambitious idea: building an AI powered app that could help students schedule their timetable in a much more efficient manner. As I would say, the self proclaimed leader, I took charge once again. I assigned tasks: coding the backend to Ravi, designing the UI to Mira, and handing the pitch to Ria. My job? Well, coordinating. But halfway through, disaster struck. Ravi was stuck with a bug he couldn't fix. Mira's design wasn't syncing with the backend, and Ria, oh my god, she couldn't explain the idea clearly. Tempers flared. "This isn't working," Mira snapped, and Ravi muttered, "We're wasting time." I could feel the pressure mounting. And just when I thought I'd snap, I remembered eighth grader Aryan. Taking a deep breath, I gathered the team together. "Let's rethink, guys," I said. "What do you think is the best way forward?" And in came the ideas. Ravi suggested simplifying the backend to focus on one single feature, and Mira proposed a minimalistic design to match the simpler backend. And Ria ended up saying, "But if we frame it as a productivity tool instead of a study app?" And, and well, we pivoted. We worked together, supporting each other through sleepless hours. But here's where I learned another lesson. Rafi confided in me way later, almost 2 months later. You know, if you'd have kept discussing every small, minute, tiny detail like the other teams, we'd have been totally derailed and our project would have never come to life. It struck me then, lose ships, losing ships. Being a leader also means protecting your team from the unnecessary noise and the distractions. And by the end of the hackathon, we did manage to win the third place. That hackathon taught me leadership isn't about sticking to a plan. It's about adapting when the plan falls apart. It's about trusting your team's instincts, following your very own hunches, and knowing when to let go of control. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, understanding your leadership style isn't about choosing one approach and sticking to it. It's about knowing when to lead from the front and when to support from the back. Remember, leadership isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about listening when others speak, adapting when challenges arise, and guiding your team towards a shared vision. Today, whenever I get an opportunity to lead, I don't think of myself as a tour guide anymore. I think of myself as a map maker, helping others navigate the journey. After all, the best leaders aren't the ones with the loudest voices. They are the ones who bring out the best in others. So, what kind of a map maker are you? Thank you. Over to distinguish.
Second, we will be having distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon to present his evaluation report for the speaker, Toastmaster Aryan. Over to the distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon.
Thank you, Toastmaster Girish, for my speech review about Toastmaster Aryan's speech, The Map Maker. Toastmaster Aryan exemplified the speech in the beginning itself, the way which he said that leadership is like either a map, you know very well where you have to go, or it's like a GPS system which recalibrates itself as you go along and takes you to the right direction. It is a very powerful example to show how there are different styles of leadership in today's world. One is the one which you lead, and the other is the one which you encourage and let people do all what they want to do. He also talked about learning leadership lessons right from his school time. And I always believe that the best examples that you can give in every speech that you make is from your own life. Because when you give examples from your own life, you are having that experience of having been there, done that. Second is it's your story, so it's very convincing. Third is you have lived that experience, so you know exactly what it means when you're coming and speaking about it. And Toastmaster Aryan, when he wanted to speak about leadership styles, he chose these two examples from his school time, one from school and one from college. Leadership doesn't mean wearing a title. Leadership doesn't mean having number of years of experience. Leadership doesn't mean that you are the owner of something and you expect people to follow you. Leadership can be learned at any point of stage in our lives. And Toastmasters Aryan's example exemplified that by saying from the eighth standard onwards, when he started, when he was made as the team leader for a school assignment, and how he learned the nuances of leadership from that point onwards. From a point of telling people what to do and not having things done, to the point of letting people come up with their observations and their ideas and to make the project a successful one, was, I think, one of the best lessons in leadership that somebody could get at a class 8, when most of us don't even know the spelling of leadership or what it means, or have misconceived notions about what leadership is. So his example very clearly stated how he learned at a very young age. And when he joined college and the same situation presented itself at a later stage, he still went through what he went through during his school days. So he still made all the mistakes, or he still did what he thought was not the right way. But then again, the situation presented itself in a similar manner, where when you took feedback from people, from your team members, everything fell in place, and they ended up winning a prize. So what it came out at the end of it is, when you collaborate with people, when you let people play to their strengths, and when you are there to kind of guide and help them, you can get to form a successful team. Now, that was his description of what he learned in leadership and what he feels is going to be his compass. Is it the only style? No, it's not the only style. Leadership, there are different styles of leadership, and each style works in a different scenario, different fashion. But for him, this is what it worked, and he also believes that this is the right style that he wants to choose. So, very good two examples presented from personal experience, which enlightened or highlighted the essence of the speech. What you could do better is to bring a little bit more vocal variety into your speech, so that it could get more, especially in the areas where you felt, when you were not getting through, when people where you thought were making mistakes. If you could just emphasize it with a change of vocal variety, that will take the speech to the next level. But otherwise, the content was perfect, the idea was perfect, and the way you emphasized the quotient of leadership itself was very good. Thank you and all the very best. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, distinguished